All right, welcome back, everyone. Welcome to the Talking Turkey Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm your host, Manny Jimenez, joined by my guy, my pal.
Hey, it's me, your high score of the week, Cody. Cup of coffee, everyone's favorite cup of coffee, Cody, and the high score of the week. Sorry, Javi, I took another one.
Yep, Cody earned $15. Is that what it is? $15 for the week. Well done,
Either
Cody.
10 or 15. I don't have the full Constitution memorized, only the important parts.
Yeah, it was $15 a week. So congratulations,
Okay.
High score of the week. Very, very nice. Yep.
Went towards my free agency bids here.
Oh yeah, there's definitely a lot of them. We'll definitely get into that. So love that. So welcome back, everyone. It was a good week one, great week one. We saw some amazing matchups. We saw some duds out there. We'll break down, and what I'm showing here is our lineup for the day, right? So we're going to talk about the week one results, and the results when I talk about how our teams fared against each other, right? Our matchups, how some of those players on those matchups really defined who won and who lost, with some big performances that we saw over the weekend, and also some performances that were major letdowns by first and second round players who were just completely out of sync. And you can tell it's the start of the season, right? Where very, very unique things happened in the game, and hopefully they can turn it around in week 2, week 3 as they get their feet underneath them. We're definitely going to talk about some trade drama that happened this week, a couple days ago. Cody,
dude.
All right, we got a big fuck that. Not for you kids, all right? But the trade drama is definitely going to be something hot and heavy that we discuss. It's going to be really, really poignant, and we might have a special guest join us on our Tampax Tampons and Vagisil hotline, so we'll check it out. Waiver wire action. We'll talk about the waiver wire additions for the week and how teams are setting themselves up for the week 2 for the season, and then we'll close out with Thursday Night Football. Players we're going to watch. Obviously, I'm representing because Pack versus Commanders. I'm excited for it, but we're going to see which players could potentially pop up in that game. So, Cody,
yes,
welcome back. Congratulations on week one. Week one, you looked great.
Thank you. I'm happy to lead my division. I'm tied with my boy Andrew. He and I at the top of our division, the Allen division, leading the way. Everyone wants to be number one, and he and I are tied for it right now. I'm sorry he had to do it to you, Manny. You're the commish. He has no respect for the commish.
No respect. So as we look at our week one matchups here, we can see Andrew got me by 70 to 59 to score 59. Luckily, I was not the lowest score. Luckily, I wasn't the lowest score of the week. I was very close to it, but
amongst real league members, you're the lowest score. Come on, you beat the new guy out by 1 point, Manny. 1 point. Come on, you're gonna hold on to that?
Yeah, no, it was a bad performance. I had no production from my wide receivers whatsoever. Kyler Murray being my high scorer. My defense being my second highest, and then my rookie tight end was awesome. When I saw Tyler Warren doing his thing out there, I was like, oh yeah, I got this in the bag. I did not expect my number one wide receiver, which was T. Higgins, to just completely drop the ball.
He's your number one, but he's the Bengals number 2, and the Bengals had a rough day all around.
I actually had a decent game from Metcalf too, but my running backs definitely didn't show up. I mean, Gibbs got completely shut down.
At this point, we could just say your whole team didn't show up, Manny. Let's be honest. Everyone except the Patriots defense did not show up.
That is exactly right. So, it was a tough pill to swallow. Watching Bijan pop up for a 50-yard TD was not great. As soon as I saw that, I was almost sick to my stomach. I felt like John C. Reilly and Step Brothers. Like, I think I'm going to throw up. Like, as soon as I saw that play pop off, I was like, here we go. So, you hate to lose to a guy that his third best player was his kicker with 9 points, right? That's just rough sledding there.
That is rough. And whose quarterback had -6 until halftime. I mean, when you saw that, you had to just stop checking the score, relaxing, not even worried.
I was like, the 2-0 start, I was so happy. I was like, oh, thank goodness, Andrew. Thank goodness. And then I don't know what happened. It was after that 50-yard play, I'm like, started biting my nails a little bit, like, oh, is this really going to happen? And sure enough, it went down. Yeah.
Sweating a little bit.
And then as the game was going on and my running backs were producing, Packers were shutting down Gibbs. Was like, oh boy, this is not looking good. So I would say I'd
I
say
mean,
about
looking at the matchup, you
halfway.
got to say, like, neither team performed well. The one difference was Bijan showed up for Andrew and no one showed up for you, Manny. When you look at the rosters, that's clearly what happened here.
Clear indicator. So Andrew, congratulations, good luck. We definitely gonna talk about some disrespect about this, but
Oh,
let's
you're
talk about.
wishing him luck, huh? More luck into the future?
I'm just I'm happy for him that I was able to get a quality win against a quality opponent, right? So
Quality opponent. Okay, all right.
yep, looking at your matchup, you definitely had some really good performances by Hertz and Keon Coleman and McCaffrey. So well done, good draft picks there, right? You always
Thank you.
draft picks perform well. So,
Yeah, everyone's worried about McCaffrey. He looked great out there. He's the only 49er not currently hurt. I mean, I've never seen a healthier calf. He looked great out there, running the ball, catching the ball. He was just back to kind of his old McCaffrey ways out there. And Hurts on Thursday night led me off with 24. Meanwhile, he had AJ Brown with 0. I mean, I was playing the new guy. I wasn't too worried. After that, I knew I had it in the bag. He wasn't going to come back from that.
Yeah, AJ Brown, another big time wide receiver with a really, really bad performance. I mean,
huge goose egg.
Yeah.
Thursday night for all to see.
If we talk about all the wide receivers drafted in the first 2 rounds, JJ, Jamar Chase, Hill wasn't in the first 2 rounds, but Higgins, I mean, most of them really didn't show up this weekend. So
Nico Collins, another one who didn't.
Nico Collins, I know Puka Nacua, he somewhat showed up, but
yeah, I mean, he was in and out, of the game with concussion protocol. So for the amount of snaps he played, I mean, I think I heard a stat where he ran 23 routes and still ended up with over 100 yards and, the stat line that he has. So 16 points when you're only playing and like running 23 routes is crazy. Yeah. Yeah. And Amon Ra, a guy for Ricky who didn't perform. That was his 2nd round pick.
Yep. So lots of duds with those wide receivers in the 1st and 2nd round. But you were lucky to get Coleman in there, and he played extremely well for you.
Yeah.
I think Ruben's going to learn real quick. This league's tough, and I'm sure his team. I think I'm playing them this week, so I'm projected to win. I
believe we play each other this week, Manny.
No, I think it is me versus Ruben, if I'm correct.
Oh, is it? And then I play Andrew? I get to start 2-0?
You get to start 2-0.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Here we go. I thought I had you week 2. I might be mistaken.
Yep. No, it is definitely Ruben versus me, and you got Andrew. Yep.
I mean, yeah, I'm so not worried about it. I haven't even bothered checking.
Nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, in that last matchup, we look at their McConkey Kong versus Big Kahuna.
Great name by Hobby, by the way. Great name.
Yeah. Very, very good name by Hobby. Great performance by Hobby as usual. Patrick Mahomes, even though Casey didn't look great, Patrick Mahomes still got him 25, which was probably one of his more higher outputs than I see even do from last season. So
big time. He was on my team last year. I know so well that's one of the highest outputs he would have had. The rushing touchdown helped. I mean, he lost who would have been his number 1 receiver early on to a team on team friendly fire by Travis Kelce. And he still put up a good fantasy day, even with Hollywood Brown and an old ass Kelce out there.
Yep, he did. He did put up a good stat line. He did look good. I will have to say Patrick Mahomes definitely looked like Patrick Mahomes 2 seasons ago. So that was good to see. But also Hobby's Breece Hall pick, making everybody let him slide a little bit. Really, people didn't have faith in him, and Hobby swooped up on that, and it looks good for him. He had juice. He looked explosive. That Jets, so there was games this weekend that were really shining. Right, there was the Bills-Ravens game that was awesome.
Oh yeah,
Steelers. Jets game was awesome. So lots of really good games.
Breece Hall is a big part of that. And even his other running back, Aaron Jones, was the guy people let fall. Romo took his backup 3 rounds before Hobby took him. So that was a great pickup by him. And he had Ladd and Neighbors both get under 10 points, not even double digits, with a 0 for Mark Andrews. And he still was able to put up 95 on the week. So that just goes to show you the strength that he has in this team right here.
Oh yeah. Very, very, very strong team. Drafted extremely well.
Yeah, and he beat you to taking the Packers defense. They had a great game against Detroit.
Yeah. The Packers defense looked to be the real deal. I was very impressed with what I saw. The Micah effect is real. You could see that the other defensive linemen got more one-on-one opportunities. Got more ability, more juice in the tank. Right? as soon as Micah's on the field, there's so much attention goes to him that the
Mhm.
other players, defensive linemen, are like, all right, now we can lick our lips and pin our ears back.
Well,
So,
not only that, you can then just sit back with your DBs and rush only 4, and now you got 7 guys in the backfield just kind of playing zone and looking out for receivers and tagging them in their zone, and it helps the DBs on the back end too when you can rush only 4 and not have to use extra linebackers to get pressure.
oh yeah, the Lions looked completely inept the entire game. So it was pretty impressive performance by the Packers overall.
Yeah. And
My
Rob's team had a fairly average output, I would say.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was bad. Brock Purdy played well for him,
Yep.
right? Well
Yep.
enough to win. Josh Jacobs obviously is always going to be 12 to 15 points a game, pop off for 20 points sometimes.
Here and
So
there.
good, yeah, here and there, but just not enough to overcome Hobby, right? Hobby had some big players show up for his team, and it would have put up almost that C note for the week.
Yeah, well,
so.
Rob, kind of like Ruben on Thursday Night Football, he kind of had the curse go against him with Devontae Smith only getting a 1 point. So when you're watching Thursday Night Football and you got a guy on your team and he's just not catching the ball, or if it's a running back not running the ball, that really sets you back early on in the week, and it's got to make you think about playing some higher risk, higher reward moves.
Oh yeah, it definitely makes you rethink what you do for Sunday morning if you get a dud out of one of your studs for Thursday night for sure.
Yeah, big time. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, on that same vein, right? So as we're looking at these matchups, and as Andrew did get his first W of the season against me,
and I think this is officially the first time he's above 500. I don't think he's ever been above 500 in this league. Manny, you're the one who allowed it. We all blame you. This is incredible. You know, I know you guys are related, but this is still ridiculous. You don't have to give him a freebie early on, man.
Well, since you guys took the commish special away from me and made it the Lindsay special, I had to create my own new commish special and just go ahead and give a win away to start the season. That's how I do it. Yeah. So I wanted to be very, I like this league to flourish, and I'm all about the giving.
Okay.
So,
yeah. Maybe you were afraid he would leave the league if he got stomped out again early on. He might kind of go inactive. You can't have that.
Exactly right. Want him to have that confidence riding high into next week against you, feeling good, see if he hits the waiver wire, or see if he just kind of rests on his laurels and see what he does. So
yeah. I mean, after a huge victory like that, I can see him just kind of taking it easy. He made a couple moves on the fringes. He already cut his quarterback, picked up another one. I don't know if it'll be enough for him this week, though.
I will say, with the kind gesture that I made to him, he did take it upon himself to send me a nice video.
Did he now?
It was a very congratulatory email on his part, right? Very, self-serving on his part. And
you don't say. Andrew, of all people?
Of all people, right? You never expect it, right?
No, you didn't do this last year at all.
So we're going to take a minute. We're going to sit back, watch this video as a group, and enjoy the video, everyone. It's about 1.5 minutes. So take a second and see how Andrew responded after his victorious week 1. Andrew being the first name, and I was like, okay, this is pretty sweet. Who doesn't love playing Andrew twice?
Exactly. You get him in week 1.
I know. I'm elated. Yeah, I'm glad I'll be seeing Kamara week 1. That's
there you go.
Said, Andrew drafted a player who's not even signed on the roster yet. I think you're going to go year 3, buddy, without making the playoffs again, man. And it's going to be back to the drawing board for year 4 for you. Selfishly speaking, I'm very happy with our group.
As am I.
Manuel. I'm not going to talk too much shit just because I know you're the commissioner and you haven't won your league yet, and I know that's gotta hurt, but man, am I so glad to play you twice this year, because my team sucked this week, but your team sucked worse, and I know that's gotta hurt. I know you gotta be rethinking all your drafting choices, all of your strategies. Anyways, I just wanted to show you really quick the area I have set aside for the trophy that I'm going to win this year. Sorry that I'm going to take it from you. This is going to be an easy 6 wins for me. You're playing you twice, playing Cody twice, and playing Ruben twice. Anyways, can't wait to see you the next time we play. On the upside, though, you did get one of your predictions right, which is it probably stings to lose to me this week.
So
Whew.
that's exactly how I felt, Cody. I watched it. Oh,
wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I felt like I got punched in the nuts. Really, that was.
You can really hear the happiness radiating out of him.
Oh, he's got a fresh new cut. He looks clean. His room looked clean. He's a whole new man.
He did it just for the video.
Yeah, it was
he can't go viral with the dirty room.
Yeah, so no, he did a well edited video, Andrew. I thought taking the snippets of some of our quotes from the week, some of our quotes from our last week 0 podcast. Well done. Overall great editing.
Very well done. The guy he paid on Fiverr to go ahead and do that took away from some of his fab bidding, but it was worth it. It was worth it. That was great. Well put together. Yeah. How do you feel now, Manny, after that video?
Definitely a gut punch, right? You can't overreact. That's one thing that happens to people. I mean, I probably lost more week 1 than I've won in week 1. And
but to Andrew, it happens. There's losing the Tim in week 1, but to Andrew.
Yeah, and so it's a tough pill to swallow, but I can't let it freak me out. It's just going to kind of be the way it is. I do appreciate how the league takes the additional steps, right? ESPN has that stupid feature where you can send a taunt or whatever, but these taunts,
touchdowns.
Yeah, the touchdown taunt, that's great. And I ended up actually sending one to Andrew when he made a message about Kyler Murray. He's like, I could have drafted Kyler Murray. I'm like, yeah, you could have. Look, he scored 2 touchdowns.
Yep. He doesn't need those, though. He just sends you his own video to taunt you.
Yeah. No, he did an excellent job. So something that we love about our league, right? We're not going to hold back. We're going to let people know that they when they suck that week. And Andrew, I sucked this week, and you let me pay for it. So well done. Good kudos on you.
Well said, Manny.
I'm looking forward to the next matchup. You bet your ass. So
you're gonna have to wait like 10 weeks to get it.
Yeah, it's gonna be some time.
It's gonna be a long time of you just throwing darts at pictures of him on your wall.
That's all right. I'm gonna have Krosky Mayer working hard in the gym, ready to go for that match.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Bill Crosby's unleashed.
Yeah, that's right. Bill Crosby's gonna unleash on Andrew. Calling it now.
Ooh, Andrew, save that. Save that for the next video. Save that quote.
All right. So good job on Andrew and his trash talking video, but let's go ahead and talk about the next set of matchups that we had here. And we had Alex versus Edgar.
Yep.
Ricky versus Angel, and Romo versus Carlos. So first matchup, Alex versus Edgar. Edgar was really close, right, to getting that high score of the week. Very impressive part on him.
Josh Allen was half his team total, and then he had Derrick Henry running for an insane amount of yards. Every time he just touched the ball, he was just in full stride, and the Bills defense couldn't catch him. It was unbelievable.
69 points between the two players.
Wow. So he had about 40-ish going into Sunday Night Football.
Yeah,
he was on pace for another typical Edgar opening to the season, and Josh Allen and Derrick Henry rescue him from the dark hole of his normal week 1 starts.
Oh yeah. I mean, and Alex had a great start with Lamar on Thursday night. I mean,
Lamar was the Sunday night game.
Yeah. So he had
the Bills got ahead early. He did have Saquon.
Yeah. He had Saquon on. He got a jump with Saquon on Thursday night. He also got a big jump from Denver defense. Right, they looked great against Cam Ward and the rookie Titans defense. So
it was smart of the guy who drafted for him to go ahead and take him for him. That was going to be, he knew that was going to be one of the higher totals for him, so he had to jump on him early.
Oh yeah. So, but and Alex put up a respectable score, 94, right? But
I think it was the highest losing score of the week. So against most of the league, that's a winning score right there. He just unfortunately ran into Josh Allen and Derrick Henry against each other.
Yeah. So what is that? So with those two players, how does that bode out for the season? Do you think Edgar cruises into the playoffs now that we know that he could potentially get 60 plus points a week just from those two players?
I think so, because even, James Conner had a rough day. Kenneth Walker, was on the field less than half the time with Charbonnet there. He still could be recovering from the foot-toe injury he had in preseason. So Mike Evans didn't get a touchdown, only got about 60-ish yards. Better days are ahead for those guys. So Josh Allen's not going to have to put up 41, but he's capable of, even in a bad game, putting up 25. And so that alone right there is going to give you consistency. If you just average 85 to 95, that'll get you into the playoffs every week. It'll get you at least a 500 score, and you'll be at that 7-8 seed, which is where Edgar always strives to make it to.
Yep. I would agree with that. I don't think Henry's going to potentially put up 20 plus points a game. I think he'll average between 15 and 20, but to pop 20 plus, that takes a special performance. I mean, he had a monster performance on Sunday night. And
against a solid defense too.
Yeah, and it was a solid defense, but it wasn't
against the Panthers or anything, or the Saints.
Yeah, so we'll see if they continue to let him run that way or they kind of split it up, because I also felt like they want to unleash Lamar a little bit more. You can see he was really, really wanting to throw, but they were running so effectively that they just kind of kept putting the ball in the hands, and then you've seen how that actually affected.
Come on, he still looks so young, so spry.
But losing that fumble in the game was massive, right? I mean,
I mean, he could have kind of gone down a little earlier, and the defender had his hand. Ed Oliver had his hand on the ball for a couple seconds before he finally ripped it out. So he was wrapped up. He could have gone down, but I mean, Derrick Henry's not a man who's used to going down easy.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. You know about that. You had him last season, and he.
Oh, I sure did. I loved every second of it.
Let's talk about the Ricky and Angel matchup.
This was the closest one of the week.
This matchup was very, very interesting because
came down to Monday Night Football.
And
that's right.
There was a lot of hoopla going into this matchup because of Angel's zero RB strategy, right? We wanted to see how that play out, and it looked like it was
sure enough. One of his RBs got him 0. So the strategy is working.
The strategy is working.
Yep.
I don't know if you received a trade request from Angel. I know I have.
No, I can't say that prior to week 1 that I have.
Okay, all right, yeah. So I think more than a handful of people have gotten a trade request from Angel, trying to
get some running backs.
Yeah. So I don't think Jacoby Myers is going to get it done. I think it's going to have to be a little bit higher on the pecking order.
Okay. When he has the other 3 receivers that he does, Jacoby's kind of the odd man out, although there's definitely, I can see games where he swaps them out for Rome Odunze, though. But Jefferson and Nico are going to be mainstays in that receiver's core.
But if he wants an elite running back.
He's going to have to trade one of those 2.
Exactly.
Yes,
so
the questionable thing that really hurt Angel this week was, the Ollie Gordon start over Javonte Williams.
Very surprising.
Javonte was announced as the RB1, and Ollie Gordon was clearly like the RB2. The whole team was saying Achan's healthy, ready to go for week 1. That one blew my mind to see him in the starting lineup. I don't know. Do you know why he did that?
It's one of those things where you shoot yourself in the foot because you believe in the rookie so much. So, I was in the same scenario. I really wanted to start Krosky Merritt, right? I really wanted to start Bill, but just conventional wisdom told me his first game, Eckler's a starter, don't do it. And I think Angel just said, the hell with it. I'm going to go with that.
If you would have started any other running back there, any of the guys on his bench, Dylan Sampson, the rookie, Caleb Johnson, the rookie, Javonte Williams, the RB1 for Dallas, he wins. He beats Ricky. Ricky had a tight end that he took in the very last pick. He saw one tweet from McVay saying, I got big plans for Terrence Ferguson. And it turns out Terrence Ferguson was a big turd Ferguson and got him 0 points, barely on the field. And I thought that fantasy gods were going to smite him down and strike him down with a loss to start the year for that. But somehow he stayed afloat. The Vikings defense did just enough to help him outscore Jefferson and Odunze, which is exactly what he needed there.
Yeah, he definitely was playing the hedge game early on, right? I think we saw it on Sunday.
What do you mean by that?
We saw Ricky do the infamous reverse jinx.
Ricky? He never does that. I can't believe he would throw something out there like that. Desperate times, huh?
Desperate times. So week 1, we already saw the reverse jinx. It didn't take more than week 1 to get that going. And
didn't even wait till Monday.
When I saw it started happening through our text thread, I was like, wait, is he really congratulating Angel before
Oh no!
Angel has 3 more players playing.
I called it out immediately.
It was unbelievable. I was like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, like Ricky's really going hard in the paint on the reverse jinx here.
Yeah, like it's the playoffs. This is crazy.
Yeah.
You
So
know?
and you could tell Angel was not a fan of it.
Yep.
Yeah, but because there was still a lot of football left, and Angel still had multiple players to play. So
Yeah.
not
I mean, yeah, multiple players, and no matter who had the ball on offense, Ricky had to just keep that butthole clenched tight, watching. Is that Rome? No. Okay, good. Oh no, the ball's in the air. Is it going to Jefferson? Oh no.
yeah. Well, Rome caught that touchdown.
Yep.
And then Justin Jefferson caught his touchdown. I was like, okay, here we go.
Oh, now we're talking.
Yeah,
All in the fourth quarter too.
Yep, it was all action in the fourth quarter, and Ricky was just lucky enough just to have a little bit of breathing room. And what I was surprised about him having who was backup, Joe Burrow for week 1, pretty good performance. So not bad.
I mean, Joe Burrow, though, he's known to be a slow starter.
Yeah.
The past 3 or 4 years, he's been a slow starter. So it's not surprising to see him again against a division rival have a low output. When you draft him, especially Ricky drafted him last year and cut him after week 1 because of something similar. So it'll be curious to see if he does the same thing or if he learns his lesson from last year. I will admit I was a little disappointed in Eckler's output. I thought that was a pretty good pickup for him. But playing the Giants, Eckler's definitely a guy who will catch the ball out of the backfield more. So I think maybe on Thursday night, it'll be a higher scoring game. Washington will need to throw more than run more. I could see Eckler having a better output, but I believed in Eckler this week in your DraftKings, which I also won, by the way, Manny. I had Eckler as one of my running backs, so I really thought he's going to have a higher output than 5 points. Eckler with the 5, Ricky's second-round pick, as we mentioned before, Amon-Ra having only 4, really kept this matchup pretty close to Angel there. And then, of course, Turd Ferguson down there, his super sleeper pickup for the Rams, the tight end there with the big fat 0.
Big fat 0 goose egg. Yeah, typically when you put up a goose egg, you're not going to win. So it was pretty surprising that he got that W. So
I mean, when you look at his receivers, he's got Marvin Harrison, CeeDee Lamb, Amon-Ra, and then on his bench, he had Zay Flowers go off, and we all watched it on Sunday Night Football. Do you think he flips around and puts Zay into the starting lineup next week?
I think he has to, right? I think you have to put him out there.
Who are you taking out then? You need room for him. You can't just put him out there.
Yeah, I think you maybe over Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah, he's got a matchup against Carolina that's pretty juicy. Is the problem?
Yeah.
Maybe
you sit Zay one more week, but Zay
maybe you kind of sit Amon-Ra. That offense didn't look great. Now they're going to be out.
But they're out
home against Chicago.
Yep, at home against Chicago. So
yeah.
No, I think
that
maybe
defense is better.
I'm looking at the matchup for Zay for week 2, Cleveland. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you probably ride CD, Amon-Ra, and Marvin Harrison again.
Just run it back and see what Zay does it again. Then
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, and the game script in Cleveland is probably obviously going to be more of a run heavy on both sides, right? Joe Flacco will air it out a little bit, but not much more than Lamar will. So there'll probably be those AFC, North games are always weird where they're always playing for position. A lot of punts that happen in those games. Sometimes those games pop off, but sometimes they're nuts.
Well, it is hard to run against them. Cleveland has a great defensive line. I mean, there was a point where it was close to Myles Garrett, almost got 3 sacks on 3 plays in a row. I mean, it was insane.
Yeah, so that'll be. I would sit Zay for sure in that matchup just because of that. Yeah. Carolina, I definitely like that juicy matchup. I'm keeping Kyler in, right? I have to make a decision between Kyler and Jordan Love. Again, I don't really want to play the guy at quarterback on Thursday night. If I had Jaden Daniels, I'm riding that. I live like Jaden Daniels running bill. I think Jaden Daniels is going to be forced to throw a lot. But,
hear that, Angel?
Yep. But I do. I don't want to play any other players if I don't have to. And I like the Carolina. Arizona at home against Carolina.
Good matchup.
Beautiful matchup there. So expecting Kyler to have a bounce back game. And what I heard from the news was the night before, all the way up until 4 a.m. of game day, Kyler was going out of both ends. He was definitely playing with the virus. So if he played like that when being completely sick, that's pretty good in my opinion.
And he wasn't playing Call of Duty?
It was not playing Call of Duty.
A different type of Call of Duty.
The toilet of duty.
Yeah.
So, Kyler, get better this week, and we need you to play well. And
Ricky and Manny both.
Yeah, exactly. We need you to play well. So, you want to talk about the last matchup, Cody? Romo versus Carlos?
Yeah, we had Romo versus Carlos. Carlos was, if you remember from last week, the guy I picked to finish top 4. I really believed in his team. Genti kind of against the Patriots defense, who was pretty good, had a slow day, didn't quite get a garbage time touchdown or even a goal line carry for a touchdown. So I think better days are going to be ahead for him and the Raiders offense overall. James Cook in that crazy Sunday night game really went off, and he's got to be super happy with Igbuka getting 2 touchdowns, including the one where he called the game. He apparently said in the huddle, like, run the post route for me and I'm going to game it. And then sure enough, they called the play for him. Baker threw it to him over the middle, and he was there. He held on to it, and they won the game off of that. But for Carlos, he lost by 5 points. You look at Xavier Worthy there, taken out by Travis Kelce, friendly fire. George Kittle pulls up with a hamstring in the first quarter. And he had 8 points alone. Or no, he had 8 points alone on that first drive.
Yeah.
He had 4 catches. In our league, it's 5 catches is 1 point. So he was
going to have a 20-plus points. He was having a 20-plus point game.
Easy. He had 25 yards and a touchdown just on that first drive, and then pulls his hamstring early on. So it was rough sledding for Kittle. So I think overall, Carlos is looking at his team, and I think he sees better days ahead. He knows his team's better than this. You can easily point to a couple injuries that really cost him here, and he still put up 76. He would have beaten Manny. He would have beaten Ruben. He probably would have beaten Andrew. So he's got to feel good. Just happened to go against Romo, who outscored him a bit, primarily due to Justin Herbert, man. I mean, the Chargers there, he looked really good against that Chiefs defense.
Oh, Justin Herbert was a hot pickup, man. After watching that game, I was really impressed with what I saw. I'm loving my Keenan Allen pickup now, and I think that ball's going to be spread nicely across all those receivers. So looking forward to it.
He seemed to spread it out pretty well. Hampton split some time with Najee Harris, but he still got the bulk of those carries. Jordan Mason, his 4th-round pick, splitting time with Aaron Jones. 6 points. You need more than that. I mean, sure, Romo got the win here, and I'm sure he'll be happy with that, but I'm not sure if Herbert's going to put up almost 30 every single week. And then ETN was this guy he took in the 5th round, maybe 6th round, pretty early compared to where ESPN had him ranked, and he keeps him on his bench. And sure enough, goes off there. That could have cost him the matchup. If Xavier Worthy is healthy for even a half of football, he probably outscores him.
Yeah. No, definitely could have been a very, very different outcome. So congrats to Romo. Got the W going into week 2. But I see we have a guest here.
Look who it is.
Yeah.
Wow, the champ himself. Gracing the podcast with his presence.
Champ himself. And, champ.
And he's not even holding the trophy. I'm surprised by this.
Nah, don't need to.
Ricky, so you're joining our Tampax Tampons Vagisil hotline, and thank you for joining us. But I want you to...
A little loose, but,
You're a little loose, yeah. When it's loose, lather it on. But when there's something that you would like to talk to the world about when it comes to our league, so after we broke down these matchups, there was a incident, a trade that went down a couple of days ago, and it seemed for me like a trade that I was like, okay, looked at it, looked pretty normal. However, there was a lot of pushback against this, and in our league constitution, we used to have trades just go through without any type of review. We do have a trade review system now where everybody gets a vote on the trade. And so Ricky, since you're here, kind of talk us through what happened and how you came about the trade, how you guys felt it was good, and then the aftermath.
Yeah. So let me start by saying a trade is supposed to benefit both teams, right? There's always going to be a little bit of a swing one way. It's just the nature of the beast in trades. So those who don't understand trades, that's how that works.
Half the league,
especially in this league when there's, maybe 4 trades a year, and 2 people in this podcast happen to be like at least 3/4 of them every time. So after my draft, I took a tight end that I thought was going to play a lot more than he did.
Oh, we covered that.
Yep. So if you've covered that, then you know that. So knowing that I needed a tight end, I was looking at available tight ends. And once I saw that Brock Bowers was day-to-day, I reached out to Cody about potentially taking Kraft from him, an individual that I see is going to be a high tight end by the end of the season. If Jordan Love has the season that everyone's projecting for him to have. So we talked about trades, and I has Javi told me 6 wide receivers that apparently I shouldn't have drafted.
All 6. Wow.
Yeah, I have 6 receivers, and 5 of them are currently the depth chart number 1 receiver for their teams, for their respective team. I have 1 receiver that is the wide receiver 2 on his team.
Smart man.
So with that, I offered that wide receiver 2, which happened to be Deebo Samuel, for Kraft. I understand that Deebo Samuel has a high end, point possibility, rushing and throwing, or receiving. And I understand that Kraft is still a tight end, and tight ends typically don't score as much. I knew that. I accepted that. But as someone who needed a tight end, I saw this as a very beneficial trade to me. And that's why I initiated the trade to Cody.
And by the way, probably the quickest trade discussion I ever had. It was 2 texts back and forth. Hey, is this guy available? Yeah, I'd probably do it for this player, this player. All right, I'll do it for Deebo. Okay, I guess, he's like, send it over. Easiest trade interaction I've ever had, especially in this dumbass league.
Wow, that sounds quick. Yeah. I mean, I've had a couple offers again for my player, as I said earlier, and it's been a couple hours long back and forth conversation on why I should be.
I mean, that was not involved here. Both of us were like, this is pretty fair. I mean, we're not the only ones who think it's pretty fair. Doing a little extra research after Carlos tried rallying the troops against both Ricky and I. He's a bitter old soul.
So we have a pinpointed target.
I guess. I mean, hey, we were the target of Carlos's actions and rallying. Fantasy Pros consensus rankings here pre week 1. During the drafting phase, they had Deebo Samuel ranked 84, Tucker Kraft ranked 91. So clearly they valued them similarly. Not even a full round difference between the 2 of them. I mean, it almost doesn't get more fair than this. And these are people who approved the Bijan for Neighbors trade last year that vetoed this one for some reason.
Look, I understand people want to veto.
They think it's funny. I get it.
They think it's funny. They think it's good.
Especially the brainless Andrew. It would suck to lose to him.
They're right. I wasn't so mad about the vetoes themselves. I was upset about the advice that I was receiving
and the reasoning behind the vetoes.
Yes, oh, this is that, this and that, and
you don't know what a fair trade is.
Points, but there was something that was like constantly in my head that was telling me to like fuck off to them.
I wonder what that was.
Put my hand on it exactly. It was just like something telling me like, hey, I don't need to listen to a bunch of people who don't understand why I'm trading. And mind you, I've had 2 seasons now being back in the league where I've had significant trades that affected my season in the positive. So I feel like
that's true. Track record of the trade. Yep.
I should be the one that's like, hey, if I'm filling a trade, it's probably good on my end. But I don't know what's telling me like not to listen to them. I'm not sure, but I'll figure it out eventually.
Well, I mean, you have that item there in the picture in view for all to see. Hopefully everyone's watching on YouTube now. I did go ahead and Ricky, of course, the champ last year. I was the champ the year prior, worked out a trade. We both saw it as reasonable and an even trade. Manny, I pulled up those stats that you had asked for. Contrary to your slide, there were only 6 people that vetoed. Romo did not put in an official vote. If you go back and check, he didn't put in an official vote. The people who vetoed, Carlos hasn't won a title since 2012. We also have Andrew, hasn't even made the playoffs, talks a lot of shit, doesn't get a lot of wins. We have Javi, hasn't won since I joined the league in 2017. Ruben, lowest score of the week in the first week he's been with us. Not even sure if he's a real member. It could just be Carlos's minor league team that he's playing around with. Not even sure Ruben actually exists. We also have Edgar, who won a title a couple of years ago thanks to a CMC trade to San Francisco. He was the first dick kisser of our league, the first official dick kisser, and he missed the playoffs more times than he's actually made the playoffs. Alex, never better than third place and had to kiss the dick last year. Those are the people who vetoed the trade. Those are the people who said it wasn't fair. Do they really know what they're talking about? When you look at the stats that you asked me to pull up, Manny, it would seem like they don't know ball.
All right. I mean, I'm glad that you went deep into the history of the league and all valid points there. So let me ask this question. Do you guys think any trade will go through this season based off of what happened this week?
I am a creature of habit. And as much as I would want to be petty and veto every single trade now that comes on to the table, like a toxic ex, as soon as I see a trade value that's like ching in my eyes, I'm definitely gonna probably try to push another trade through.
And you've had a lot of both of those.
Yes. So I'm gonna say yes, a trade will go through. I think the next couple trades will be interesting to see what happens because I think people will be like, well, I'm going to veto this one. So I do still think that a trade will happen at some point. And again, probably one of the people currently speaking here are going to be involved.
I don't know. I think if it's one of the people here, it may get vetoed. It's going to have to be someone with a less rambunctious personality, someone a little more gregarious, someone drinking 10%ers out there, and maybe, Romo, someone a little more neutral in the chat, someone less likely to talk a bunch of shit, someone who hasn't won a title in a few years, which is pretty much everyone but me and you.
Look, I see everyone has their the people that veto, they all had their reasons. Alex, I don't think it was actually Alex, so I'm not really blaming Alex. I think Joe probably
his brother. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, he's got the account.
I love that we said that Alex has zero authority of his team anymore. That's
clearly.
Ruben, he probably just vetoed because Carlos was just like, hey, this is not a good idea. I think Carlos really he's thinking it more from his team standpoint, like, hey, like I need to make sure that I'm winning, so I'm not going to let the two individuals that I potentially see as like threats get better without me involved somehow. Yeah. Javi, I knew he was going to say no before from the get-go, so I told Cody before we even pushed the trade, I was like, hey, Javi's going to veto this no matter what
I was just hoping he'd still be drunk and asleep and not make the 24-hour cutoff.
Andrew, well, Andrew's just an idiot, so I have no idea why he really actually.
He did it for the shits and giggles part.
He just wanted to cause mayhem. So that's what I feel Andrew is. And then Edgar, I think, is just a little bit of a PTSD kind of spite. He sees my name in a trade involved, and he's like, nope, no, I'm going to deny.
I remember what happened last year, veto.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and Andrew, the big rage baiter, even tried rage baiting Javi in the midst of all the voting too.
That's right.
My goodness. So yeah.
I mean, as an impartial commissioner, Manny, you were someone who voted to approve. And
it was pretty quick, easy, easy yes for me. I like when trades go through. I think that makes the league more spicy, more fun.
It adds money to the pot.
It adds money.
None of these guys are going to have to worry about winning that. But
I mean, you never know what's going to happen with the trade, right? I made a trade with Ricky a couple years ago where I gave away Raheem Mostert and it ended up balling out for Ricky.
Did what?
Yeah.
Oh, no,
and Mike Evans.
Oh yeah, Mostert wasn't the golden ticket. It was Evans.
Yeah. But Mostert was having a great season too. But yeah, Mike Evans definitely.
Yeah. He had 20 touchdowns that year.
Yeah. So, I think trades are fun. I think they're good for the league. Even if they're slightly one-sided, that's okay because you never really know what's going to happen. So,
a lot of people have checkered injury pass, even if it seems like they're performing better. Just like one turned ankle just derails the next 4 to 6 weeks of that season. And then it looks like, oh, wait a minute. What I thought I knew about this trade was wrong.
Yeah, well, just think of Andrew, the amount of offers he got for CMC last season. Remember, after week 1, all the news. I know he got more than a handful of offers for CMC.
On record.
Yeah, on record. And he turned them all down. Imagine if he pulls off that trade. He probably makes the playoffs. The person who takes on CMC is just in agony, right?
I probably missed the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
So I love trades. Even when they're slightly imbalanced, I think it adds a different level of spiciness and lets you, create a little bit more chaos, right? Who doesn't love
I mean, the one thing I do love about this league, in comparison to other leagues that I play in, or I have been a part of in the past, is the shit talking that goes on before, during, and after. Like, it's a lot of fun, being in the chat and watching people trying to get under my skin or get under each other's skin, because you don't really know in the virtual world who's actually being successful and getting in someone's head.
Of course.
Sometimes you can tell.
Yeah, but that is part of the fun. Yeah, so there are some obvious cases, but this was one of those moments that I was. I wasn't so much upset about the veto. I was just more upset about the assumption that they didn't understand that they felt like I didn't understand what was happening. Like I was
more surprised by it than upset.
I was okay, you're giving me advice, specifically Andrew. You're giving me advice.
Hey, Andrew got a week 1 win, Ricky.
Hey, Andrew's riding high. Andrew's on cloud 9 right now. He's
Hey, this is actually mine and Andrew's. Since me coming back into the league, this is both of our first time getting a win in week 1. So I did not win.
Andrew's first time being above 500.
That's fair.
Fair point. Yeah, so well, hopefully you guys will be able to get a trade locked in later. I love that there's a catalyst behind this. We're kind of going after Carlos as being the agent of Void. We'll call him the Century because he's got the Void.
Look, if it's one thing I've learned from today's age, you don't need proof. You just need to accuse. And so there's a fix in for sure.
Yeah. I mean, Manny, you summed it up best when you went ahead and unfortunately had to veto against your will, just by saying the league said, fuck you both. And that kind of sums it up.
Yeah. I had to put a message because I had to veto the trade, but ESPN says you need to provide a message.
Yeah.
And I said, the league said
league jealousy wouldn't allow the last 2 champions to have it.
Yeah, fuck you both. That's what they said.
Yeah.
No one's a new champion. Yeah. So very good luck, guys. I applaud your candor and I applaud you guys taking it in stride and moving forward. I'm glad to hear you won't keep the pettiness and veto other trades in the future. But hopefully you guys can get something going later with more value. And hopefully both players pop off and then you can both continue the little stats of both players out there and be like, see? Look what happened. It would have been
you guys
fine.
don't know ball.
And I'm tempted to, I have 6 receivers just to throw one at Javi and see what he does. But who knows?
Yeah, there you go. You got 5 WR1s, right? So 5
5 of them.
5 of them.
All right. Well, that's good stuff to have. So, Ricky, thank you so much for joining. We appreciate it.
Good to see you, champ.
Call of Duty like Kyler Murray. And good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
All right. There he goes. Whew, spicy.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's kind of what the league wanted as well. Maybe that was in the back of their mind. Like, oh, maybe we'll get a good podcast episode out of this if we go ahead and veto here. Again, give us some content.
Content, a good theory there. Who knows? But very, very surprising that so many people said no to it and so quickly. And then
I was honestly shocked. And we had someone flip. Edgar flipped. He got on his knees for Carlos, was sucking that dick, and was like, whatever you want. I said yes, but you know what? I'm going to veto it now.
The flip was shocking. I was like, Edgar
flip is what turned it. Yeah. Stick to your guns, Edgar. All right? Trust your instincts. You approved it at first. Grow some balls. Stay with it. Stay with your instincts, not what Carlos tells you to do.
Ooh, spicy. All right, let's wrap this up here over the next few minutes and talk about our next couple segments here. But we thank Ricky for joining. Wish him luck for the rest of the season, except when he plays me. And we're good going, yeah. But let's talk about the waiver wire, right? So
first waiver wire of the year.
First waiver wire day of the year, right? We are recording on Wednesday, and we're going to be having it air on Thursday. But yeah, we had some really, really big moves on the waiver wire this week. Over $120 worth of even more, right? These are just the top 5.
Yeah,
waiver wire
additions. More, smaller value moves beyond this.
Yep. A couple smaller value moves, but there definitely was some big value players that were added here. And as you can see, the number 1 value player for the week, Bashir Tootin by Cody.
Miami
Dolphins running back. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I had Tank Bigsby. I thought there was a good chance based on preseason and camp reports that Tank Bigsby was going to be the RB1. There were rumors ETN would get traded. Oh, no. Turns out it was Tank Bigsby traded to be the RB3 and kick returner for the Eagles. So having Tank Bigsby, I had to make a move. Tootin was kind of now the backup running back. He was the guy Manny drafted and cut before week 1 even started. So I had a lower bid, in all honesty, after Monday Night Football. I had a lower bid on him. But then I could just see in my mind, Manny had drafted him. Manny's a big spender. Manny's going to drop a ton of money on this guy. I got to bump up my bid. So I went back with Manny in mind and bumped it up to 42, thinking Manny would bid $38 to $40. Turns out Manny didn't bid at all. I could have had him for $20. This is crazy. But I do believe in him. I believe that ETN, if you look at his history, he starts strong in September and usually by October. I don't know if it's his slight frame or what it is. He really wears down and his efficiency drops off. So I think he'll be kind of like a Bucky Irving type where he's going to get stronger as the season goes on. And hopefully by fantasy playoffs, he'll be one of my starters. And then this move will have really paid off.
Yeah. I mean, you got to take a shot in the dark. That way I get it. There's not a lot of action on running backs on the waiver wire right now. So
no, there really weren't many good ones. I mean, as you can see here, these were the top 5 values spent. Only one running back, and it was a guy who I could have spent half that money on.
Yeah, it's all right. We have a saying in this league: get your guy,
get your guy.
Did that. So I do love that you thought of me as being someone that would throw money on there.
I mean, that 99 Charbonnet, it's still in my head.
I'm pretty comfortable with my running back position. I'm trying to find some depth on the wide receiver position. So that's where I was shooting for. But there was a lot of moves, a lot of injuries that happened over the week, and a lot of surprise drops. So as you can see from our list here, right? So you took the number 1 spot with the $42, but next one, Justin Fields with $31 by Carlos.
Yeah. Big game against a tough defense. I think Carlos watched that, saw him throwing the ball to Garrett Wilson, running the ball with his legs, scoring touchdowns against a strong defense. So it might have been evident to him that he could do this against much weaker. He's going to play the Dolphins twice. He's going to play against the Patriots. Who knows how good they'll end up being. So I think that's what he saw. But the surprising part to me was he had number 2 and number 5. He took two QBs here. He was able to take 2 of them.
Yeah. See, basically scrapped the quarterback room off his team and says, I'm going 2 guys off the waiver wire, spending up almost $44 on the 2 of them to get 2 new QBs on his roster. So
got rid of Bo Nix, got rid of JJ McCarthy after a successful comeback on Monday Night Football. He said, "You're garbage. Get out of here." I got a new beautiful. He went from 2 white quarterbacks to 2 black ones. There might be something there.
Oh yeah, he definitely loves the running quarterback. So
I guess so.
I will say Justin Fields' performance on Sunday was eye-opening. I hope him success. I hope he does well. But Justin Fields is one of those guys that we have seen this before, where he's had a monster game and then he has a dump the next game, right? I mean, inconsistency has kind of been part of the narrative when it comes to Justin Fields. So hopefully that's not the case. But you never know. I mean, he's on a team that wants him there, which is great, right? They picked him over Aaron Rodgers.
Indeed. Aaron Rodgers made them pay.
Yep.
Every single one of them.
And they run the ball, right? They run the ball extremely well. So that definitely opens up the play action for Justin Fields. And he's great with his legs, right? I think for me, I compare him to a smaller version of Cam Newton, right? He would be able to get out of the pocket and run up the field. He's not as big as Cam. Yeah. But he can move, right? Once we get out of the pocket, he can definitely get 10 yards like that. And that's what I used to love seeing about Cam Newton. I mean, Michael Vick too, but I'm not going to compare Justin Fields to Michael Vick.
No, you can't. You can't.
Michael Vick had a beautiful left arm that he can spiral any ball. So, but you, number 3 spot. So actually, when I looked at this and I saw, the Tootin, I kind of get that, but a little bit of high price. But I actually thought you got good value here with being the number 3 rank with Cedric Tillman. When I saw that pickup, I was like, oh, okay, that was good. Because I actually had put $5-6 in Cedric Tillman. I forget what it was. But you got him, and well done. I think Cedric Tillman's definitely a good asset to have on Cleveland, right? And again, if Joe Flacco's throwing the ball and they're playing teams like the Ravens and the Steelers and they're playing behind, Tillman and Judy definitely should get some opportunity. I mean, And that rookie tight end they have, I mean, that performance Fanning was unbelievable. So you could definitely know that they have some passing ability there in Cleveland. So yeah, Tillman, I think you're more value there at that pick than I felt with two.
He. I mean, before he got hurt last year, he was outscoring Jerry Jeudy in fantasy points last year, and then unfortunately got hurt. And so coming into this year, he's healthy. He went right back to being that number one status. Had slightly less yards than Jeudy. I think they had the same number of targets, but he got the touchdown that they drew up for him. And then on red zone, whenever they were cutting to that game, you can see they were utilizing him in different ways instead of just keeping him on the outside. So that showed me they were really actively trying to design looks to get him the ball. He's big, he's fast, he's strong, he's got great hands. As long as he stays healthy, I needed some receiver help, in all honesty. I didn't feel great about my receiver core, hence part of the reason for the trade I made with Ricky. But I had to go out and get a receiver one. He was really the only one I saw on the waiver wire that I felt good about. So I just had to spend up on him. Was a little pricey, especially compared to everyone else, but I think it's going to end up being worth it by the end of the year. You never know with injuries and bye weeks once those hit in week 5. He's definitely going to get a lot of starting looks in my lineup.
Yeah. I definitely think he's definitely going to be someone to start. Now, I thought you would actually go Kayshon Boutte over Tillman.
No, they spread the ball around too much there, and Drake May I'm still unsure about.
Okay. So that was a deciding factor. You like more of Joe Flacco than
Plus, the Patriots' run game is going to be better than. I mean, they have Jerome Ford, Dylan Sampson, and whenever Judkins comes back, they're going to have to throw the ball there. It's going to be a much pass-happier offense in Cleveland than it will in New England.
Yep, and I'm expecting New England to be running the ball, especially with Trayvon Henderson coming up here soon. Yeah, we all saw how Ramondre was just dog ass. I mean, awful. So I hope the coaches saw that and be like, all right, we got to put this rookie in because he's got more juice than Ramondre does.
Now this next one I was quite surprised by, Manny.
I actually liked this the best. I thought this is the best value out of the entire waiver week here. Carlos lost his number one tight end. He's going to be officially ruled out for put on the IR right today by
4 to 6 weeks.
4 to 6 weeks. So he's officially on the IR. Carlos needed a tight end. Based off what happened with the tight end situation with this trade with Ricky, I thought Ricky would go hard in the paint for Juwan Johnson, but Carlos ended up with him. Carlos was the only one that put a bid on him too. So surprising.
I thought
$16.
He could have just hit me up for Tucker Kraft. It would have cost him $5 for a trade.
But I mean, if you really look at it, Juwan Johnson got targeted 11 times in that game. 11 times. I mean, it's not like they were losing by a ton. I mean,
they were down. They were down the whole game, and including in the fourth quarter, they were down 10 all the way until the last 2 minutes.
But do you see them being up in any games?
No, definally not.
Definitely not. Right. Yeah. Spencer Rattler is going to be forced to chuck that ball around. So and if you see a tight end who's getting 50+% of the target share out there on the team, I mean, that's outrageous. So
I wonder how much of that is Arizona's, defensive weaknesses, their linebackers. That could be a reason for it, because Kamara didn't get that many touches, and he's a guy who can catch the ball out of the backfield. Kendre Miller, the backup, is another guy that can catch. They got Olave. Carlos has Raheed Shaheed on his team. I just think there's a lot of mouths to feed in that offense. This might have been Juwan Johnson's best game of the year.
I don't know. I slightly disagree with that, only because Kellen Moore being the OC there,
when has he been in an offense that had a good tight end? He had Goddard last year, who was meh. He's had Ferguson when he was in Dallas.
He definitely realizes the tight end.
He was like the tight end 8 to 12. So he was never like a top tier tight end.
I would say he was not a top tier tight end, but he definitely keeps the tight ends in play, and he must love Juwan Johnson because.
And I guess he didn't draft. He didn't pick him up for $16 thinking he'll be a top tier tight end. He just needs to hold on till Kittle comes back. Really.
And I think the most. When I looked at the numbers of it, I'm like, oh, why is Juwan Johnson getting 11 targets and making 8 receptions? He actually went on all the plays that they ran. He ran a route on over almost 90% of plays. So they didn't even have him blocking. They had him out going to catch a pass. So I'm like, okay, if that's how they're going to run their offense, he's definitely going to have opportunity.
Yeah.
And Spencer Rattler, an elite tier QB? No, he's not. Right?
Is he a mid-tier QB? Probably not.
Probably not. So, right. So what are you going to do? Dump it down to your big tight end. That's 5 yards, right?
Get some red zone looks.
Yeah. So I felt that was a good pick by Carlos. It could become a flame out. Who knows? But I think in the short term, over the next 4 or 5 weeks, we'll really see. I mean, in this next game against San Francisco, we'll really know if he's the real deal or not.
Yeah.
The San Francisco defense is still relatively good. So,
yeah. I mean, with the guys still out there on the waiver wire that weren't picked up, is there anyone that surprised you who didn't actually get any bids put on them or get picked up?
I really thought Fanning would get picked up. I'm shocked it didn't happen. I would have been all over it had I not had Tyler Warren.
Mm-hmm.
I feel good with my tight end, just so I don't even want to miss. That's something that I hate having to continue to stream week after week. When I don't have
Same here. That's why I made the move I did in the draft.
So I would say Britton Strange and Harold Fanning Jr. were the two that was like, oh, I was surprised. I thought someone else would get them. Carlos Colon. So Juwan Johnson was obviously my number one target if I needed a tight end. Fanning being number 2, Britton Strange number 3. So
see, I was surprised after the game he had. Quentin Johnson didn't get like some kind of mid $15 to $20 bid put on him after the 2 touchdown game. Clearly looked much better than he has. He was catching the ball, which is something we're not used to seeing. After that type of game, I really thought someone was going to drop some cheddar on him.
Oh, so you're talking about all positions? I thought we were still
talking about no, I meant all positions across the waiver wire. Anyone who's still out there, you were surprised didn't get picked up or even a bid put on him.
Yeah, I mean, I think the jury's still out on Quiz, right? Quentin Johnson. I think he had that great game, and he's had great games before. He's had multi-touchdown games, but then he'll come out and have a 20-point game and come out and have a 2-point game, right? That players are not willing to deal with that variance. I think that's where he kind of gets scared. They want to see if he does it again this weekend, he'll be the number 1 waiver wire ad, I'm sure.
Oh, what price range do you think that would hit?
If he hits again this weekend, it's going to be over a $50 bid.
Yeah, okay, I could see it.
Yep. So,
especially if someone has receivers that struggle 2 weeks in a row, you're sick and tired of it, fed up. You got to go get the guy who's been successful in that offense.
Yeah, and I think their offense is much better. If Justin Herbert is truly healthy and he's slinging the ball the way he is, I mean, Casey's defense is good.
And they're willing to pass more than on a run first Harbaugh offense that we're used to seeing.
I don't think Mario Hampton and Najee Harris are going to be as productive as last season's running game with J.K. Dobbins. I just don't think it's going to be there. So they're going to force to be forced
Dobbins
to throw the ball.
did get hurt though,
Yeah, I mean,
after a couple weeks. So it'll be more consistent this year than it was last year.
Yeah, it'll be more consistent.
Yeah.
But Najee's got no juice. Amari Hampton's going to take some time to get into the groove. I think about a month. Once he's got a month in, he'll probably be then much more resilient in the running game and understanding what their scheme is, because Jim Harbaugh's running scheme is also very dynamic. It's unique, so rookies do have a hard time getting in there, which is why J.K. Dobbins was so quick to adapt
to it.
Yeah.
Well, plus he played for Greg Roman's offense back when he was in Baltimore, so he had some familiarity with it previous.
Right. Yeah. So it's just not a standardized running scheme, right? It's a lot of shifting, moving, a lot of offensive guard pulling. So but I mean that's definitely a pick there. Anyone else? I don't know. I see Marvin Mims getting a lot of track. I actually see
he wasn't on the field that much.
Yeah, I actually see Deontay Thornton Jr. getting some discussion, right?
Yeah.
I mean, because
especially with the Raider fans in our oh no, that's Trey Tucker. Is he the one who caught the
Trey Tucker was the one who caught the deep ball.
Okay, he was one I thought one of the Raider fans would end up picking up, Angel or Edgar.
But if I was forced to take a Raider after Jacoby Myers, it would be definitely Deontay Thornton Jr. Right, as the rookie
guys available.
Yeah, the high draft pick that they got. They're ideally you're looking at the Raiders playing from behind a lot, so he'll get a little opportunity, right? So and then Eric Iommanor, Eric Iommanor in Tennessee, right?
Did you draft him? Or maybe in a different league?
Not in a different league, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I have him in our keeper league. Yep.
There we go.
Yeah, but I think Iommanor, as I watched the game, I would really want to see it closely. Right, Cam Ward's going to take some time to get in, but I just don't think Calvin Ridley is going to have the season that everybody projected to be, a top tier wide receiver. I think eventually Iommanor and Cam Ward are going to build a connection that's going to obviously split that time across.
Oh man, I couldn't disagree more. I think Ridley was just shadowed by Surtain over there. I mean, that dude, he just shuts everybody in the league down.
He shuts everybody down, but Calvin Ridley
was on Ridley.
Yeah, but he wasn't great last year, right? I mean,
Well, look who was throwing to him.
Yeah, but
yeah, he's got an upgrade at quarterback now. I think we need to see them play not the Broncos defense and see how it is. I still fully believe Ridley will have a better year than Io Manor, the rookie. I mean, maybe he'll have a few weeks where he outscores Ridley, but I still think Ward to Ridley is going to be like the bread and butter of that offense with a little bit of Pollard mixed in.
Do you think against the Rams this week, Ridley will have success?
I think, the Rams DBs aren't that great. They really have a strong defensive line and super fast linebackers, but their weak point is in the back area with the DBs. I think he can go ahead and break a couple as long as they're in max protection and the offensive line holds up to that vicious defensive line. All it takes is one or two long ones. And I think after last week, they're going to open up the playbook a little bit more and you'll see a connection there.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, not nearly enough. I mean, the Rams' offense is probably going to be up by a few, so it might be some garbage time type stuff. But they'll get a few connections here. He'll get at least 10 targets. He'll catch 7 of them. Maybe a touchdown as well. We'll see. I think he can get at least 70 to 80 yards though.
Well, I definitely know they're going to be throwing the ball because the Rams are going to get up ahead, right?
Yeah,
and the Rams are they're going to pin their ears back and go after Cam Ward.
Yeah, and it's going to be a matter of can they hold up that offensive line.
Yep, that's right. No, good waiver wire chat there, and we'll see if that pans out for some of the players. And you and Carlos having the top 5 spots, big money spent. So good job on you guys.
We took up all 5. Yeah,
go get your guy, right? That's what we say.
Yeah, I mean, especially in this league, if you go down 1-0 in the league, like Carlos did, you really got to start making moves because it can really, really snowball on you fast. If you want to stay in playoff contention, you really need to get off to a head start early in the year.
Yeah, I made a small change. I just changed my defense. I think the Chargers defense looked phenomenal. I love the way they actually looked. Playing to the ball. They played against a good KC quarterback with Mahomes, and I thought they did a good job.
Without any receivers.
Yeah, I mean, they still did very, very well. So I want to see them, and they have a really good matchup this week. So I'm going to be streaming defenses all year probably.
Okay.
But
like most of us.
Yeah, Thursday night football. Packers, Commanders.
Big one for you.
Go Pack, go. That's right. I'm excited for
everyone's meeting at Manny's house. What time? You said 5?
Oh, yeah. My wife will love that.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I definitely had the Packers winning this game. I know the line hasn't. Oh, yeah. I have that.
The Packer fan has them winning?
Yeah. But, last year there was some games like D1. I was like, oh, I don't think we're going to have the Eagles. And
okay.
Get this game, I think Packers are getting 3.5 points or Commanders are getting 3.5 points. That's the line right now, 3.5. So
yeah,
at home, the way the Packers defense looked, they look legit. They look great against a really good team. Hopefully the Lions are a good team still. Who knows?
Yeah.
Like they could be the team that kind of flames out. But Jordan Love didn't even need to pass for 200 yards last week. Threw a couple touchdowns. They look good. Josh Jacobs looked good. So all around, the team is built very, very uniquely. Where they can spread. I mean, they threw to 8 different receivers last week. That's pretty. Yeah. That's the reason that's like tough to have a Green Bay pass catcher right now. Because if you do, you're kind of banking on them to score a touchdown. So, big news with the Packers though. They did sign Christian Watson to an extension, even though he's injured. Yeah. So whoever Christian Watson agent, good for you because get your guy signed even when he's not playing.
Get that 3% check.
That's right. But I think players we want to see tomorrow night is Jaden Daniels, right? You can see Jaden Daniels can really make that connection with Debo again for Ricky's sake, or and then.
I mean, come on, Manny, be honest. You know who you really want to see out there.
Oh, I want to see Bill.
There you go. You go. I knew it.
Right. I want to see Bill. That's right. Yeah. But I don't think it's a good game for the Washington run game. I think the game script is going to be against them since they're going to be playing from behind potentially.
So I think you'll see a lot of Eckler out there.
See more Eckler in the third, right, in the passing game, especially if they're down. Now, if they get up big, you're going to see a lot of Bill, right? If the Packers kind of screw the pooch and Washington gets up 2 TDs, Bill's going to get in there, and that's going to just make me, elated. But if we see back-to-back weeks of Bill Krosky production, do you think he'll take over the backfield?
I think a lot of it, especially early on in the season, is all going to be game script dependent. If they're down and need to throw, it's going to be Eckler. If it's fairly neutral, it might be 50-50. And if they're ahead, you're going to see, your boy Bill out there trying to get first downs to really drain the clock. And they'll be utilizing him on those runs up the middle just to kind of salt away the time left when they have that lead. I mean, that's really the whole first half he didn't really do that much, but then he scored his touchdown in the third quarter. They were ahead of the Giants, and that's where they really started giving him carries.
Oh yeah. And he looked good. He was cutting well. He was finding the holes. I liked what I saw out of Bill. I was like, all right.
Yeah, he looked fresh out there. And keep an eye on Tucker Kraft for the Packers. He's probably going to go out and score 2 touchdowns, make the league just embarrass themselves, thinking that it wasn't going to be a fair trade, that Debo would completely outscore him. You'll see. Thursday Night Football, Tucker Kraft's going off. He's going to pop off in this matchup.
Oh, I like it. Call him the Tucker Kraft. I agree. I think Tucker Kraft's going to definitely have another scoring week here. So
yeah,
I don't think Washington's defense is built to cover the tight end. So
yeah.
All right, well, good stuff, man.
Yeah, back to you.
Yeah, who do you got to win tomorrow?
As much as I hate them, I do want to lean into the Packers. It seemed like Washington had trouble with the Giants, which just blows my mind. I mean, they have a really good defense. They have a great defensive line. I think their defensive line is probably going to be even better than the Packers this year. But it still seemed like Washington had trouble moving the ball. They were able to just blanket neighbors and then just rely on that. It's going to, like you said, Love moves about the ball around a lot. So I think they're going to have trouble covering all 4 or 5 of the guys that are out there. They rotate those receivers so well, and they're all so different and unique from each other. It really takes a different guy to kind of cover them. So yeah, I'm going with the Packers here, even minus the 3.5. I'll even take them on the spread.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I can see Jacobs also just like breaking one. I really do think the Packers are going to look good in Thursday Night Football here on primetime.
Oh yeah, love it.
Yeah,
love the call. All right,
I bet you do.
Well, everyone, thank you very much. Thank you for joining. Hope you got a lot out of this. Hope
thank you, Ricky, for joining as well.
Yeah, Ricky, appreciate the candor, appreciate the discussion.
No, thank you to most of the league.
No thanks to most of the league. I love it. The pettiness is running deep this week, so hopefully we'll have a trade process through and all will be forgiven. But if we don't have a trade go through, we know that this week 1 shut it all down for the season. So
that's right.
All right, man. Well, you have a good night, everyone. Thank you for watching. Have a good one.
Take care. Good night.